I am a son of the South. I grew up in Macon, Georgia. My father was the fire chief there for 25 years, died way too early. My mother was director of nurses. I am the oldest of 4 children. Michael, Kelly, and Julie, they're all great. We're all very close. And yeah, that's my love for design really started, I guess, in my home with my mom, who was always tinkering with her house, you know, how mothers do. And my dad really loved painters. He loved art. He loved Michelangelo, and he had a friend that was a painter, actually another fireman who painted some great murals and stuff in town. So that's where it all sort of started for me. I moved to New York, or the New York area in 2010. I went back to school in early 2000s in Washington, D.C. at the Corcoran School of Art and Design to study design. I knew that I was in sales before. I got to that point, I think we all do in our 40s, where you go, oh, is this really it? You know? and it wasn't. So I'd always loved art and architecture, so I jumped in and never looked back. So 20 years later, here we are. When I first got into business on my own in 2012, I was sitting at my desk, we were developing a website, and you know, what is home? And this is what came to me. Home is where we build our lives, raise our children, and collect our treasures. And what I mean by build our lives is when I was a kid, dinner table, right? We find out who we are because of the exchanges we're having with our siblings, with our parents, hearing about their life. And from that, you really start to begin to know how you're going to fit in life. So in a nutshell, I can't stress enough how important dining rooms are. So if you're not using it, please do. I think it's really important for kids, and it's certainly, my partner and I have dinner often at the table, so it's really a special place. You know, after days of slaying dragons, you want to come home, as you've heard me say before, to a home that greets you with a warm hug. And it's really important that when we finish, that it has that feeling for you. I've always believed that part of a successful life, and everyone in this room I think of as successful, is having a well-designed home. And what I mean by that is ergonomically, aesthetically, and comfort, right? We want all those things to happen in any of these spaces that we design for other people, and that come across for you in your life. At David Hinson Design, our mission is to capture and express your unique essence through bespoke design. As Mr. Azar makes great suits that are bespoke, we do the same thing for interiors. It is built around you and your life. You're the inspiration. It's got to be client-centric when we're designing, right? Your dreams and needs are the cornerstone of the entire design, and it is the start of the creative process. We immerse ourselves in understanding your preferences from colors you love to the functionality you seek, ensuring that every detail reflects your personal style. Basically, what we do is we find out what you love and we surround you with it, you know? So, our process, which I want to stress, after the design is approved, you know all the pricing, and then the budget is locked in. Again, when I say locked in, there's never another conversation we have about money unless you choose to change it. You're adding a room, you want to buy this instead of this, so there's no guessing game, and I find that I don't want to be treated that way. I don't want somebody to show up one day after the design is finished and say, oh, this is going to cost a little more. So none of that ever happens, unless the client chooses to. After the orders are placed and everything is in production, we follow it through and we communicate every step along the way to make sure you know where things are. You know, if anything's going to be delayed, thank you, COVID. Some sofas took a full year. No, not any longer. We can get usually sofas out within 8 weeks these days. On the installation day, we ask you to step away from the house for the day or for the few hours, depending on how big the project is. We come in, we lay the carpets, the draperies are hung, paintings are done, the lamps and furniture are placed, and you come home to a glass of champagne and your new life and your new home, and hopefully in the home of your dreams, because that's what we're doing, is we're taking dreams and making them realized in your home. My portfolio, this is a lot, so I'll get through it as quickly as I can, and I won't stop on every picture, but I wanted you to see some of the work. This little house was a late 19th century schoolhouse. There were 2 rooms in the front, which are the rooms you're looking at now. It's been added on to, it went up, went out to the sides, but these clients came in and they wanted to do their formal living room, which was the actual school room. We showed them, we started, they wanted to come to the D&D, where Desiree's office is, and to look at fabrics, to sort of get, an inspiration of what they loved. I did know early that he loved blue, she loved orange. Thank God they're complementary colors, so we could work with that from the beginning. And the drapery fabric was the jumping off point. We then found the rug. I build a room from the floor up. Usually start with the carpet, and then fabrics sort of fall in around it. A little opposite this time, but there was so much color in that chinoiserie print that we could really work with it well. So everything in the room is new, including the paintings. The wallpaper is from Philip Jeffries. It is a foil behind that grass cloth. It really is wonderful in the room. It has a real shimmer to it. Another picture of the sofa. We need a little more seating, and they really wanted a bench. And sorry. And that's not mine either. There it is. That is mine. Oh, thank you. There we go. There we go. I haven't done this in a while. That's all you. The two chests are reproductions from a museum in Arizona, made by Hickory Chair. And I didn't do the dining room, but I think it flows pretty well. This is what Larry and Barbara wrote after we'd finished the room. Awesome job. It's beautiful. You really did a fine job, and we are so happy. We can't wait to entertain in it. It really is us. Again, as I spoke about so much earlier, it has to reflect your aesthetic that you're looking for. Thanks so much, David, for giving us our first grown-up space. So, when I said collect treasures at the end of that statement, a lot of times we're so busy with raising kids and getting our careers going that the home is sort of the last thing. We get the car, we get the wardrobe, but the home sometimes gets overlooked. And it is so important to have, I think, a room that's completely finished, that you come home to, that's you're part of your, you can relax and enjoy and be in the space. And it's reflective of your likes. The Harringtons are probably my oldest client. We've worked almost throughout the entire house. A lot of these fabrics you're looking at are Desiree's, the fabric on the sofa and the draperies. It's a little piece of heaven, their art. I mean, they buy art like, she has it in some chairs, believe it or not. Little paintings sitting in a chair in the foyer, like, come sit down and have a conversation with me kind of thing. I can't take credit for those. I helped hang some of them, but they were there in the house when I got started. And so were the carpets. The bedroom was the first thing. It's a lot of furniture, not a lot of furniture, but she had a lot of clothes. So anyway, we did armoires, a couple of them in the room. This was just done last year. This is their wine cellar. It was just a blank space. He had some shelves for wines, and that was it. The herringbone brick pavers went down, and of course, all the cabinetry. It's all white oak. The fabric is one of Desiree's as well. It's a William Morris print on velvet. It's been recolored since its beginning. William Morris, I'm sure you probably know, worked in the mid-19th century doing these prints both in paper and in fabric. Was a really inspirational guy. I went to his house. It's called the Red House outside of London. It's really worth a view if you ever get, if you're into design like I am and you want to see it. Again, a full view of all the wines. The staircase was built by a guy, that's all he does, is staircases, systems. He does those big ones for some of those really large houses in South Orange and in New Jersey. It's all white oak again. The whole thing comes in and gets installed. It was quite a bear, actually, to get it in the house. Just a few of coming downstairs to the room. This is a Philip Jeffries wallpaper. It is made of real wood, sliced very thin, applied to paper so a paper hanger can hang it. Wow. Really cool stuff. And I love the color. I didn't want it to be a typical brown or something. I wanted something a little different, but still warm and cozy like a wine cellar. This is what Janet wrote, and again, we've done many rooms together. Working with David has been an enjoyable and satisfying experience from small to large projects. He has listened, advised, and been responsive and productive as we collaborate with him. We have worked with other designers in our homes, but David has surpassed them regarding his designs and working relationship. We love our home, and those who visit us genuinely impressed with his work. Nordman. The first room in this house was this big kitchen. We blew out the back of the house. The beams were added, new cabinetry, of course, oak or walnut floors, and a walnut island. I will get on through it. The wife, Sage, loved blue, that color blue, that teal blue. It's just wrapped in blue leather. Desiree's fabric again on the dining chairs. The walls look a little yellow there, but they're not. They're more taupe. It's an epoxy made out of marble dust and then polished down with a car polisher, believe it or not. Their master bath. There's a couple of these crystal chandeliers, 3 of them in the house. One was over the dining room table. This one, of course, over the tub. It's a company in New Jersey in Union called American Brass and Crystal Company that we have here. So if you're looking for that look, they're really great. And they do some modern things, but most of it is very traditional looks like that. Going down to the lower level, this again is Zoffany paper on cork. And it's a really great print with a lot of life to it. Again, you see that blue color that she loves. And again, on her sofa, the sectional down there. Really comfortable. It's again, you know, I love Zoffany. They do great work. It's a velvet from them as well, from the Sanderson group. The blue also shows up on her leather bar stools in the back. The whole basement we did. These floors are an epoxy that are polished. It's really good because you can come into the whole space in one time. One day it's all done. Really, one evening it was all done. The cove ceiling is a paper up there as well that's metallic. And he can change and play with the lights like a disco, believe it or not. He wanted a gym in the room too. So he wanted glass around it. This is a house in Chester. It's a visual comfort, rock crystal chandelier, and it speaks for itself. Moving on. One thing about this, when we're showing it, was because that was not a dining room, it was a sitting room, and she wanted a dining room. There wasn't one in this house, and it was a decent-sized house. We cut through a closet, we put in this butler's pantry with the walnut cabinets on either side, and place for wine and china storage. Her sunroom, it's a wallpaper from Zoffany also. It's an Indian garden theme, and the matching fabric went with it, and we used it on the pillows. The daughter's room, we designed the bed. It was made for me in North Carolina. It's channel set, vegan leather, and the kid, I've obviously met with her. She loved these colors, and that's what we worked around. The Valerie Fund is a fund for children's cancer in New Jersey. This was a show house over the top room. I don't know how many of you have full-length draperies in your bathroom, but you know, if you need them, you want them, we got them. Really great Italian tub. It's made out of resin. The paper was the jumping off point. Again, it's Zoffany paper. But when I was putting the room together, we found this marble. It's white flowers and marble, and there's black marble background. So I thought it really went well with the paper. This house, I don't know what happened to my picture. Not sure what happened there. Anyway, this house is in Madison. Real quick about this, that she loved gray, can you tell? And he loved blue, so we got both of those in there, but she's very, you know, feel the room, right? She's very, so the fabric didn't hold up. And Desiree stepped up, we went to see it. It really was breaking down. It shouldn't have. It was really high-performance fabric. It should not have done it. But when you hire a designer, we stay with you through the whole process, right? So we got new fabric, paid for it to be recovered, and she ended up with basically a new sofa with no really questions asked, you know? So it does help. We are your advocate to get through problems.
One more job. We've got time for one more job.
Okay. So I'm going to just walk through the rest of them. This big house we'll talk about another time, but I did want you to see it. It's really over the top. She actually, when she came to me, she said, I really want rustic. Well, rustic. Yeah, more, yeah. An amazing kitchen, breakfast room. Staircase, or the hallway goes from like 125 feet up and down, lots of marble, lots of crystal chandeliers. And then this last one is just another kitchen. Thank you for your time. I don't know if I went over or not, but thanks a lot.